Why is this happening to us?
Only Allah knows.
Why does holding on to faith feel so hard now?
Bro, relax. Everybody sins. Stop overthinking.
But what if we are forgetting Allah completely?
Did the scholars truly believe these signs would happen?
Not only believe, they feared living through them.
This is not a story from imagination. This is a warning spoken more than 1,400 years ago. A warning about a time when truth would become rare, when trust would disappear, when people would wake up surrounded by fitnah from every direction. A time when believers would feel like strangers. And in the middle of that darkness, a man would appear. Not a king, not a magician, not a conqueror hungry for power, but a leader chosen by Allah, the Mahdi.
Every year feels heavier than the last.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned us that before the Mahdi comes, the world would sink into confusion. Not just poverty, not just violence, but confusion. People would stop recognizing truth. Good would look strange. Evil would look normal. And the scariest part? Most people would not even realize what was happening.
Bro, nobody thinks about the akhirah anymore. Why does holding on to faith feel so hard now?
Bro, relax. Everybody sins. Stop overthinking.
But what if we are forgetting Allah completely?
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spoke about these days in authentic narrations. In Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith 4282, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The Mahdi will be from my family, from the descendants of Fatima." And in Jami at-Tirmidhi, hadith 2230, he said, "The world will not end until a man from my family rules the Arabs." These were not random statements. These were prophecies, warnings, signs placed across history.
Do you think
like
these
footprints
trials
in the
will
desert.
ever end? What will happen to the Ummah in the future? Will there still be righteous people left?
Before the Mahdi appears, morality collapses. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described a time when lying would become normal, when dishonest people would be trusted, and truthful people would be called foolish. In Sunan Ibn Majah, hadith 4036, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned, "Years of deception will come, a time when truth itself would feel under attack." Look around carefully. How many people today are famous for corruption? How many are rewarded for arrogance? How many sincere people are mocked simply for holding on to faith?
Buy more. Enjoy life. That's all that matters.
People worship money now.
The signs are not only spiritual, they are social, economic, political, emotional. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described a world drowning in instability before the Mahdi. And some scholars throughout history spoke about these warnings with fear in their voices. Ibn Kathir wrote extensively about the signs before the final hour. Imam al-Qurtubi warned that widespread corruption and oppression would spread before major events unfold. And Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani emphasized how many signs would appear gradually, so gradually that people would normalize them. That is exactly what makes these signs terrifying. They do not arrive all at once.
Global markets
they slowly
continue
become
to crash.
everyday life.
Everybody only cares about themselves now. We don't feel safe anymore.
And this is important to understand. No one knows the exact time of the Mahdi except Allah. Anyone claiming certainty is lying. But the signs? The signs were given so believers stay awake, so hearts do not become careless. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never told us these things to create panic. He told us so we would prepare spiritually.
Maybe. But no generation has seen fitnah spread this fast before.
Ya Allah, keep my heart firm.
One of the clearest signs before the Mahdi is the explosion of distractions. Never in human history has the world been so loud. Millions speaking, very few listening, everyone connected, yet hearts feel emptier than ever. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned in Sahih Muslim, hadith 2671, that knowledge would be lifted and ignorance would spread. Today information is everywhere, but wisdom feels rare.
Why does holding on to faith feel so hard now?
Bro, relax. Everybody sins. Stop overthinking.
But what if we are forgetting Allah completely?
There is another reason people believe we are living near those times. The feeling of isolation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in Sahih Muslim, hadith 145, Islam began as something strange and will return to being strange. Many believers today feel exactly that. Holding on to faith feels difficult. Modesty feels mocked. Patience feels weak. Sincerity feels invisible. And yet, this strangeness was predicted.
Move forward! No one stands against our authority! What if the prophecies are true? Silence! Crush anyone who resists!
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also warned about endless conflict before the final hour. Wars, division, bloodshed. In Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith 7068, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned about widespread killing near the end of times. And look carefully at the age we live in. Entire nations trembling, people fearing the future, communities divided over politics, wealth, race, and ideology. The world feels tense, almost like it is waiting for something.
Who exactly is the Mahdi?
He will be a righteous man from the family of the Prophet.
Will everyone recognize him immediately?
No. Many will doubt him at first.
According to authentic narrations, the Mahdi will not arrive surrounded by luxury or armies. He will emerge during chaos. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith 4284, that the Mahdi's name will match the Prophet's name, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. And scholars explain something powerful here. The Mahdi himself may not even seek leadership in the beginning. Allah will prepare him suddenly, quietly, while the world is collapsing around him.
People are afraid!
Everywhere I go, people talk about signs. The earth feels heavy with warnings now.
But before the Mahdi comes suffering, severe suffering. In many narrations, scholars mention that oppression, fear, and instability will become unbearable before relief finally arrives. Why? Because humanity only appreciates justice after tasting corruption, only appreciates mercy after drowning in cruelty. And history proves this pattern again and again.
Why is this happening to us?
Only Allah knows.
This is why so many Muslims today feel emotionally connected to these prophecies, because they see pain spreading across the world, not just in one country, everywhere. And the believers begin asking the same question: how much longer?
Will Allah send help for this ummah? Allah never abandons the believers.
And that is where the story of the Mahdi truly begins. Not with victory, not with power, but with a world exhausted by darkness, a world desperate for justice. And in the next part, we will uncover the terrifying events that happen immediately before the Mahdi appears. The collapse, the wars, the fear in Mecca, and the shocking hadith that many people today are afraid to talk about.